What's up, guys? Welcome to the next video. I thought today would be a fun time to do a reaction video. I haven't done one of these yet, and I thought it would be pretty fun to go over the Giants Live Evan Singleton Greatest Feats of Strength video. They posted it on YouTube last year, and I've seen it once or twice. I thought it would be cool to watch this with you guys. If you haven't seen it already, give my commentary on it, and overall just thoughts about what was going on in the exact moment of each clip, a little bit of inner monologue, if you will. So a little bit of insight into it. I thought it would be fun, and it would be fun to experience this and share this with you guys. So let's get into it. My greatest feats of strength. Manchester, Glasgow.
He's got booing him now.
Albert Hall.
The crowd fired up.
I try.
That's the fastest pull I've ever seen.
That deadlift face.
Whatsoever.
Frame carry. T-Rex roars at the Royal Albert Hall.
Evan Singleton, currently second place overall. T-Rex. This is T-Rex yoga.
Iron Bibby.
Up against.
We actually had a car walk race in 2019 in Manchester, and Bibby sneaked me by a fraction of a second. So I was looking at this going into this like, all right, I'm gonna write that loss. I'm gonna redo a little bit of history, and I'm gonna come out on top on this moving event this time. I'm gonna show him that I'm faster than he is. So yeah, that's what I was thinking going into this is I'm gonna beat this motherfucker. I'm gonna beat him at a moving event. And this was right after he did the max axle world record clean and press.
He did this event in Manchester. My goodness me, he was quick a few years ago. He can shift for a big fella.
That venue is just beautiful.
Sandler gets them underway, and look at this, a mistake from Bibby early, and Singleton is capitalizing. He's quick, he's screaming at the record holder.
Well, look at
I knew that I was ahead of Bibby, so I started shouting. I just started shouting at whoever was in front of me that this is my event and I'm here to win, and just all that stuff. But it was a little bit staggered when I was running because I actually staggered my grip. If you look here, the frames, the handles for the frames go all the way through the implement as opposed to being kind of like dead set just by themselves in the middle of it. So balance is a really, really serious thing you need to consider when you're running with these frames, and you can actually see Bibby had a little bit of an issue with that. So for me to avoid having any kind of issues with balance, having it dip forward or dip backward too far, I staggered my grip. It gave me the best possible grip to stay even, and that's just kind of why I went across the finish line, like cockeyed a little bit, but it worked. So.
This was Singleton's to win.
11.32 seconds.
I was like, yeah, I got him. I beat him. There's me yelling.
I think he says,
this is my
tonight, that's for sure.
fucking event. Oh, the Viking press. This was Giants Live, the Deadlift World Championships in Manchester in 21. I love Viking press. It's one of my favorite overhead presses. I can do it for days and days. I'm really good at it. The implement that Giants Live had made up for this comp was just beautiful. I was the first one that got to test it. Super thankful for that. I was over in England when it got delivered to the compound, and there's not really a whole lot I can say. This was just beautiful. I loved it. I love this Viking press. They actually used this. They actually used this at the Giants Live World's Strongest Nation. The captains did it, Eddie and Martine. So might have to pull this event out of retirement, try to get them to, so that I can take the record for the most amount of reps. Bonk. There's a famous headbutt that is very divisive amongst the community.
Isn't he, Singleton? Those WWE days. He really does do the business.
Yeah, I do the business.
No nonsense when he begins. Massive shoulder power as well. NCAA wrestler.
True.
Really top class wrestler before he went into the WWE.
I remember going into this event. I went in last because I just won the anchor drag into the farmer's walk into the anchor drag medley. I just won that event, so I got to go last here. The last person to go was Novikov, and before that was Adam Bishop, and they both got 11 reps. Going into it last, I knew I was going to win that event. Like, I knew I was going to win the Viking press before I even stepped out there. I'm just so confident with my shoulder pressing, with the Viking press specifically. I trained on that implement for a couple of weeks, and I got really used to the feeling of it in my hands. The weight just, it was heavy. It was definitely a heavy Viking press, but it just, I don't know. It was an event I was confident I was going to win.
Very controlled, measured.
Up on to 8 repetitions. He's got to drop the weight a little lower each time. He could get in trouble from Magnus. On to 10, Danny. Unbelievable.
Easy.
Look at this, 11,
There's the win.
12 now, and that's enough for him.
I knew I won, so I didn't need to do any more.
He did it, just enough, no more, saved his energy. Great performance.
There could have been 2 or 3 more there. 12 reps, there's your winner.
Oh, easily. I could have easily had over 15 reps there. That was nothing. But yeah, you can see I love to do a little bit of pandering to the crowd and get them involved. I like to put on a show. I like to put on a show, and I like to give the people who paid money to come see us live. I like to give them a good reason to A, have fun, and B, come back. So I love to get the crowd involved. Oh, that's pretty man right there.
When it comes to World's Strongest Man time, he keeps this kind of form because he is looking so impressive.
Not a plan to. The car walk. A little bit of context behind this. Car walk, I love this event. Obviously, it's a yoke. I'm very good at yoke. One of the best in the world. But I was going up against Tom Stoltman, the reigning World's Strongest Man winner. This was in Glasgow, so the Stoltman boys were obviously the fan favorites. And you can't really tell this from the live stream. This was more of an in-person thing that you had to pick up on, but the crowd didn't have a lot of a response to any of us doing anything except for the Stoltmans. Like, for the most part, they were kind of indifferent for most of us. And I was doing my usual, like, hype up and all of that good stuff just to try to get a little bit of a reaction out of them. And I couldn't really get anything. So before this event, I told myself, all right, I can't get them to engage with me when I'm like happy and worked up and excited and all of that. I can't get them to engage. So I'm going to get them to react one way or another. If you're not going to cheer for me, I'm going to make you boo me. And that's when the whole ex-WWE wrestler came out. That's when the old heel came out. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do something after I beat Tom in his own country. I'm going to do something to make you guys boo me. And it was just beautiful. And it was an extra little dig at all the people, because before this, I've just got a slew of comments like, oh, I hate the WWE thing. I hate the WWE character that he brings. He needs to get rid of that and all that. The reason I did this was 50% because of you guys and your shit talking on me and my eccentric ways. So this was like a little kiss blow just to you guys who hate this kind of shit.
Jaunty little warm-up in a car.
And I was right behind him. I was in second place.
It's a full VW Beetle, this. The seat stripped away, and of course the floor too.
My angry look.
Dramatic face of the former WWE star. T-Rex.
I didn't have anything to headbutt, so I relied on my smelling salts.
Big Evan. Worried here that they might beat the local boy.
Might.
The national boy, Big Tom Stoltman.
Showdown could go some way to determining who takes the title today.
This was close all the way until the end, and then Tom had to drop it twice. And there's my win.
But what was the time? Because it was very
I was like, yeah, baby. I'm king shit here. I came to your country to win.
He takes the car walk.
Then I see Tom.
Very happy about it.
I get his attention. I get him to look at me.
He's telling Stoltman.
Oh, man. Seriously. the wave of boos that I got from that crowd doing that after that car race, oh man, that's something I'll never forget. It was just a sea of boos. I could feel the animosity towards me after that. It was just so amazing. Oh God, I'll never forget that. That was so funny. I enjoyed that so much. I regret not starting to do shit like that in that competition sooner to get more of a reaction like that. Honestly, that would have been
struggling now to get
that would have been amazing.
He's really, he hasn't silenced the Glaswegians. He's got them booing him now.
Chuck the mouthpiece. I don't need it except for my next event. The Giants Live World Deadlift Championships. Okay, also, I want to say real quick, joining the 1,000-pound club meant the absolute world to me because up until this point, nobody saw me as a good deadlifter. Nobody thought I was able to deadlift 1,000 pounds. Everybody thought that I was just going to be like middle of the pack in the deadlift event, and I busted my ass to get here. Like, I busted my ass hard to get to the point where I was going to deadlift 1,000 pounds. And also, shout out to Gabriel Pena for being there for me that competition. We actually joined the 1,000-pound deadlift club together that night, officially. And yeah, much love for my jacked Jesus-looking friend. Yeah, he was there to give me the back slaps that I needed. So shout out to Gabe for that.
So Singleton, you can tell he wants to move quickly.
I am the reigning North American champion, by the way.
You're absolutely right.
Fast as hell off the ground.
My goodness me.
A little bit of hitching. Oh, beautiful. I forgot I was strapped into the bar.
53 above his actual
I was electrified during that moment. The entire crowd was behind me, cheering for me. I didn't think I was going to be able to get that deadlift. I was confident I was going to get it. That was probably the wrong phrasing. I would say I was confident I was going to get it because I knew how hard I worked for it. It was just one of those moments where I believed it, but it was difficult to believe just because of the position I was in, being a not good deadlifter. But just the overwhelming feeling, deadlifting it, ripping it off the ground, getting that lockout, getting the down call, and solidifying my place in the standings, which really helped me win this competition. That was amazing. That was so awesome. That's another moment I'll just never forget.
Personal best.
Well, we were not expecting this. 2 more men in the 1,000.
Also, when I'm getting ready for a lift and like a couple of seconds, I want to say maybe 5 to 10 seconds after that lift, when I'm super psyched up like that, don't approach me. Like, for fans or anybody that's like, if I happen to be training in the same gym as you, if I'm getting worked up for a top lift and I'm looking like that, wait until I calm down before you approach me, because that person will start a fist fight over the dumbest shit. That person's very angry. Oh, that deadlift face. Oh, so pretty.
Before this evening, and
that's right. 7 of us deadlifted 1,000 pounds or more that day. 7 of us. 7 people deadlifted 1,000 pounds in one night. Best display of deadlifting there's ever been. And nobody can convince me otherwise. The first inaugural Arnold UK, going up against my good rival and good friend, Alexei Novikov. World's Strongest Man winner.
Show your appreciation for Edmund, the T-Rex!
So much tacky. That pretty face. This was really cool because going into this event, I was almost confident Alexei was going to win this, just based on points alone. Alexei had an amazing turnout at this competition. He did really, really well. I think he won 2 or 3 of the events. He did amazing. I was able to pull it out at the very end.
We finish it with a Castle Stones lesson for the whistle from Darren
Tom Stoltman gave me my smelling salts for this. Thank you, Big Tom. Also, I want to say, I want to say before this stone run goes, this year was where I really turned it around and solidified myself as one of the best stone loaders in the world because, again, before the Royal Albert Hall this year in 21, I wasn't known for my stones. And when I started strongman, stones were probably my worst event. I was terrible at stones. I didn't know body positioning. I didn't know my levers or how to use them. Like, it was an awkward event for me. I didn't like to train it. Like, it was a terrible event for me. But again, like, not to sound like a broken record, but I busted my ass. I worked really freaking hard on my stones. And then at Royal Albert Hall, I beat Alexei Novikov, who's a really good stone loader. And then I proceeded to beat multiple people at stones. I am a good stone loader, and I really had to work hard to get there. So I knew I could beat Alexei in this. I knew I could get him on stones. It just mattered because of where he was and where I was at points, first and second, but he had a couple points in between us. It really mattered where he positioned overall in the show. Some people had to beat him too, but not beat me in order for me to win this title.
We are the way to the far side, and both men explode into the first stone. Singleton getting in front of Novikov. Hot on his heels, winning Singleton with 3.
Easy.
Novikov driving forward. Singleton now needs to keep focus.
Like 360, 70, 400. Easy.
Right behind him is Novikov, and the man from Ukraine.
I was so happy. I was so happy. I didn't know what to do with myself. I started hammer fisting the last stone.
Wow! What a finish!
The crowd was awesome, by the way. That was a lot of fun.
Singleton is revved. Ladies and gentlemen, the first time
I got to finish my 21 season with a win.
In 1 year. And you can see as Kazmaier looks across at Evan Singleton in so many ways, it's like looking at a mirror.
I love Kaz. I really do.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is
because of how intense and worked up I get when I train and when I compete. Some people have called me like the new Kaz 2.0, all that crap. And honestly, I'm very, very honored when people do that, to even make that comparison. When I first started strongman, I wasn't familiar with strongman very much at all before I started competing in strongman. But when I started competing in strongman, one of the couple of people that I really idolized was Bill Kazmaier. He was American. He was strong as shit. He was successful. He won multiple times. And his aggression and his attitude and his intensity I've only ever seen that in me. So seeing that in somebody else, it drew me to him immediately. And then as I progressed through strongman, I got to the pros. I started doing the tours with Giants Live, and I got to meet Kaz. I even spent a little bit of time staying in the same house with him. Got to know him. I can honestly say that Kaz is an amazing person, a legend in the sport, obviously, a very inspirational person, and it's just really cool to be able to compete in front of him, and the way that he has told me that he looks at me like the next version of him or just a younger version of himself and stuff like that. That I'm really honored to hear that. I really am. That means a lot to me when he says shit like that.
Here at the Arnold Sports Festival, representing the United States of America, the T-Rex,
do what I can to get the crowd involved.
Is the winner of Giants Live here at the Arnold's, the first time that we came to the ADC. The first time.
There's Big Thicket and Alexei Novikov. Oh, I felt bad. I knocked his hat off. I felt so bad.
And he's hit the top of the podium. Bill Kazmaier presents the trophy to Singleton.
I didn't want to touch his jacket because I still had tacky on my hands.
Here we go. Look at your top
I was so happy.
Novikov and Evan, the T-Rex Singleton.
I was so happy. It's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. The feeling that you get when you win a pro show and you come out on top of guys who have won World's Strongest Man, who have proven themselves time and time again in pro shows like Trey and Alexi. It's just to be able to stand on the podium not only with them but then win the show is just it's a feeling that nothing in my life has ever replicated. It's something else, man. To know that you were the best on that day is truly wild. And I'm looking forward to feeling that again because 2022, 21, I podiumed everything I did. I killed everything I did. I did amazing. 22 has been a rough year for me. Obviously, if you've been following me, tore my bicep, got anaphylactic shock at Worlds, missed a couple of comps, big comps too that I could have done well at. 22 was not my year, but physically, I'm feeling better than I ever have. I'm feeling so strong and confident. My mentality is just on point. It's right where it needs to be to get ready for training. I am currently in prep for World's Strongest Man 23. I'm looking to get on that podium, and I know I will. I know I will. The 23 season is going to see a lot more of this, that I promise. All right, guys. So that was the reaction to my greatest feats of strength brought to you by Giants Live. The link to their YouTube channel and then the link to that original video by itself will be in the description. I hope you enjoyed my reaction to it. And yeah, if you liked the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video. T-Rex Kingdom, baby.